Good morning, Pashley, and it is time for another maths lesson. So, have you got your pens and paper ready to practice our number formation? And today we're going to be forming the number 8. And the little rhyme that goes with that is make an S and do not wait. When it's joined up, you have an 8. So let's go over here. Let's change the make an S. So here we are, making a funny S, make an S, but do not wait. When it's joined up, you'll have an 8. So make an S, but do not wait. Don't stop, because when it's joined up, you'll have an 8. So just spend a little bit of time practicing your number 8. For your maths fluency today, there's a song you could listen to, a bit of number bonds to 10, or you can still play the games that we have been using last week and yesterday as well. Can you remember what that symbol means, that mathematical symbol? Yes, that's right. It's all about takeaway and subtraction. So it's subtraction. And we had lots of other words for it yesterday, didn't we? I'm not going to go through them all again, but we had taking away, minus, finding the difference, subtract. It's all about making things get smaller. When you subtract or take away, numbers get smaller. You get less amounts, fewer. That's another word that will come up today. Fewer also just means taking away, subtraction. Let's start. So, finding the difference. Just another way of saying you need to do some subtracting. To find the difference between objects or numbers, you have to do subtraction. So this question is asking you, how many more cakes does Tia have than Malachi? So let's count Tia's cakes. 1, 2. That's right, she has 6 cakes. So she has 6 cakes. And how many does Malachi have? That's right, Malachi had 4 cakes. And the question asked you is, how many more cakes did Tia have than Malachi? So how many more does Tia have than Malachi? So I need to do a subtraction calculation to help me with this one. So Tia had the most, so I'm going to put Tia's cakes here, 6. Take away 4, Malachi's cakes, equals, you tell me the answer? 6, take away 4. Can't hold my fingers up. That's right, it is 2. The difference between 6 and 4 is 2. Now, I do a little bit of a cheat here. When I have to find the difference between things, I go to a point when they're the same. So when they're equal, Tia has 4 cakes here and also Malachi. So they are the same. And then I can see really quite easily visually that Tia had 2 more. So that's just a little neat trick that I sometimes use when I'm trying to find the difference. So Tia has 2 more cakes than Malachi. Just the same. This one wants to know how many more carrots that Leanna has than Zach. How many more carrots does she have than Zach? So let's find out how many she's got all together. First of all, 1, 2, 3. Well done. 7. So Leanna has 7 and Zach has 2. So to find the difference between 7, Leanna's cakes, take away Zach's, will give us our difference. Finding the difference. It has a difference of, can you work out what the difference between 7, take away 2, gives me? That's right, it does. It gives me 5. Gives me 5. So Leanna has 5 more carrots than Zach. So shall I just do my little trick just to double check? Because we've done the number calculation. So I'll put my line here because that's when they both had 2. Has she got 5 more? Yes, she does have 5 more. So just a little bit of a double check. Sometimes in maths, it's good to check your answers. So I've done a number calculation and I've also used my picture to double check my answer was right. Okay, now this one, it says, how many fewer cakes does Essin have than Rosie? Fewer. What does fewer mean again? That's right. It's just another name for taking away and subtraction. How many? It's all about finding less. So it wants to know how many how many less cakes, how many fewer cakes does Essin have? She hasn't got as many as Rosie, but we don't know how many less that she's got. So we'll have to work it out. So let's count how many does Rosie have? That's right, she has 6. And Essin, she only has 3. So we need to find the difference between 6 and a 3. So we can do that in our number calculation. So we had 6. Take away Essin's cakes, 3 will give us the difference. We'll find the difference between these two numbers. And 6, take away 1, 2, 3, leaves me 3. So you can use my little trick here. I'm going to put down my line when they both have the same. And I can see there that she's got 3 less, because here's her gaps where her cakes could have gone, but she's got 3 less, because you can see quite clearly that Rosie has 3 more. If Rosie has 3 more, then Essie has to have 3 less than Rosie. Okay, so we're just moving on, maybe using multi-link to do it, just the same, instead of using cakes. So it's asking us now, what is the difference between, what number is that? That's right, find the difference. What's the difference between 10 and 6? So which stack of cubes is 10, top or bottom? Of course it is, it's the bigger number, isn't it? So we've got 10 cubes here, and we have 6 cubes here, and it wants to know what the difference between 10 and 6 is. Now, can anyone tell me what number bond goes with 6 to make 10? We should be yelling this at me now, but we're going to double check just in case we aren't right. So it says here, the difference between 10 and 6 is, let's count on. So if I've got 6 here and I need to get to 10, so I'm 6, then I'm going to go 7, 8, 9, 10. You're right. The number bond 4 and 6 make 10. So 10 take away 6 equals 4. So this is the point when they both have the same, and this one's got 1, 2, 3 more. This top one stack has got 4 more, and the bottom one's got 4 less. Means the same. So when you subtract or take away, we are getting smaller. We'll just do another one of those just to double check. A bit tricky, some of these. So it's asking you what the difference between 10 and 8. So before we go on with that, just think about the strategies that we could be using for this. So what strategies have we been using to find the difference? Have a think. That's right. We've just been counting on or counting back to find the difference. So to find the difference between these stack of cubes, I could count on or I can count back. So I'm going to find the point where they're exactly the same, which is here. And then the difference between 10 and 8 is 2. That's right. The top set of cubes has 2 more than the bottom. And the bottom set of cubes got 2 less. Could have gone one there to make them the same. So 10 take away 8 leaves us with 2. Now, you should have screamed at me and said, Mrs. Burton, I know that. It's a number bond. We know that 8 and 2 make 10. I would like you just to pause and complete a few more of these examples in your booklet, pages 46 and 47. And then come back. Good. I hope you didn't find those too complicated. I think we went through it in the video quite well. So you should have been able to do those. Okay, one more I want you to do. Still about finding the difference. So it's still about subtraction, still about taking away. And it says here, Leanna has 7 sweets and Zach has 3 sweets. How many more sweets does Leanna have? I would like you to go off. You can show this in cubes, counters, or as an image, or as a number sentence. I would like you to show me how you would work this out. What strategy are you going to use to help you work out how many more sweets Leanna has? Pause while you have a go. Fabulous. So I'm going to show you how I did it, because I find when the sweets are all muddled up like that, I found it really hard to find out how many more she had. So I turned my sweets into, let's have a look. That's it. I turned them into cubes. And straight away, the visual picture for me there is I can see, here's Leanna's, how many cubes does she have? 7, sweets, 7. So here's my 7 sweets, and here's Zach's 3. So I put my line down here, and I can see straight away how many more Leanna's got. How many more has she got? That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4. She has 4 more sweets. So the difference between Leanna's pink sweets and Zach's 3 green sweets is 4. So in a number calculation, 7 take away 3 is 4. Fantastic. So lastly, bit of a reasoning rabbit, just to see if you've understood the finding the difference that we've been talking about. So remember, finding the difference is just about subtracting. So the difference today, 2 numbers have a difference of 5. So the difference is always going to be 5. So that's why I put the equals 5 in a box for you. So, but what 2 numbers can you take away? Have a whole number and you take another number away, is going to give you that difference of 5. And the larger number is less than 10. So what 2 numbers could you do, could there be to make that number sentence correct? What could the 2 numbers be to have that difference of 5? And finally, pause there if you need to, but finally, if you want to do some more number calculations, you can do so, just there as an extra if you want them. Okay, so some tricky concepts again about finding the difference today, but if you remember, it's just all about taking away, subtracting. And do you remember when we subtract and take away, it's all about getting smaller. I can't do it, smaller, isn't it? So the numbers or the objects get smaller, they get fewer, they get less. And that's what we remember with our subtraction and our takeaway. So signing off for now, and I will see you tomorrow for another maths lesson.